It's Only Sugarsand tells the story of narrator Fred and his friend Jonas, both of them 10, and living in Falkensee, a town in the German Democratic Republic very near to West Berlin. We join the story as the boys go on a little summer holiday adventure. We often play around the tile factory, even though we're not allowed. Just behind the derelict factory building is the border with West Berlin. Nobody is allowed near the border zone with its watchtowers and death strip, or the soldiers will open fire. In front of the wall there is a barbed wire fence protecting a broad strip of land, and you need a permit to enter it. Of course, we don't have a permit. There are lots of empty, abandoned houses and empty little factories here. It's very spooky. A sharp wind blows through the skeletons of the houses, as if it wanted to stop us from coming any closer. We tiptoe round like Aborigines hunting. If we get caught here. We carefully open the rusty gate to the old tile factory, and then we are standing in the huge, dark hall. In the past, there were 3 shifts working here, round the clock, making tiles. Today, there isn't a sound to be heard. We jump as a few pigeons fly over us. Look! Over there, behind the stack of coal, Jonas whispers to me. I can't make out what he wants to show me. There are mountains of coal briquettes that have been unused for years. Is there someone standing in the corner? With a screech, Jonas suddenly grabs me so that my heart almost stops. Cowardy custard, got no mustard, he shouts. Jonas laughs so hard he almost chokes, and then we both laugh, as if someone had pulled a stopper out. Suddenly it is no longer scary in the abandoned factory. At last, Jonas is back to his old self. We let ourselves drop down onto the loose sand. We can see the Falkensee sky through the broken roof. My fingers feel the grainy sand. If I turn my palms upwards and reach up carefully, the sand trickles through my fingers like an egg timer. Our local Brandenburg sand is like Baltic sand. Perhaps there was once a sea here at Falkensee. White sand, white enough to sweeten your tea with. Sugar sand. My mother has applied for an exit visa, Johannes says suddenly into the silence. Johannes' words echo in the empty factory like in a church. I hold my breath. So that was it. The Gramovskis want to leave the GDR for the West. Forever. I know what that means. If Johannes and his mother are allowed to leave, we won't be able to see each other for a very long time. And once they have left, they will never be allowed back into the GDR. Not even for a visit. Suddenly, I go cold all over. Jonas jumps up. But it can take forever for an exit visa to come through, he says. Come on, let's try out your boomerang. Almost all the windows of the ruined buildings around the tile factory are missing. Johannes and I clamber up a crumbling stairway onto the 2nd floor. From here, we can look across into the west. The border wall, where soldiers and dogs keep watch, lies in between. With the telescope, we can see things we want to watch close up. I adjust my boomerang. The border is no problem for it. It simply flies over and comes back without us having to look for permission. I poke Jonas in the side. Are you scared? Jonas shakes his head. Go for it, just throw. We just need to watch exactly where it lands. I take a step backwards, stretch, and let the boomerang fly. It flies over the wall, over the army lorries, then turns and comes back to land in the yard in front of the factory. A border guard dog has noticed our flying machine and barks in alarm. Through the telescope, I can see the Alsatian up close. He bares his teeth and barks constantly. Then I make out a soldier searching the area with military binoculars. Get down, I order. Jonas and I get our heads down quickly and hide behind a projecting section of wall. The dogs smell human flesh. Those Alsatians are bred specially for the border. I know that from Dad. They will bite anything. They breed them to be savage over in Sacra. Don't they get anything to eat? Jonas wants to know. I look through the telescope again, straight into the border dog's eyes. They live off people who get hurt on the border. Jonas looks at me wide-eyed. Hurt on the border. That sounds... We don't say anything more. The Alsatian quietens down too. Suddenly I realise that Jonas and I will be separated by this wall. My friend will be on the other side while I'm here. Forbidden to communicate, except... If you could fly like a boomerang, we could visit each other in secret. You would just fly above the dogs and the soldiers, I say, thinking aloud. Jonas smiles widely. Or you could.